Yeah. In Wales?
Well, ours was in foot and mouth. So we actually went over to West Virginia, stateside, and did what Delta Force, who are the American Army equivalent of the SAS, top guys. That's where they do their selection and stuff. So
weather?
Fucking hot.
Hot, I was
hot, yeah. Mid to late 30s every day,
for how long?
That was, so we had a little bit of a acclimatization period, but what was really, really interesting is obviously a lot of guys from the wider army and stuff spend a lot of time up in Brecon Beacons, so they know all the routes already. We're obviously going over to Virginia or whatever, and no one knew anything. It was kind of like backpack country, you know, forest, hot, you know, down. So no one knew the routes or anything like that. But so it's completely new for everyone that went out there. But yeah, so you know, so there's a lot of sort of proper map reading in that phase as well as trying to make these distances over a certain time that you had to do for that period of like 5 to 6 weeks.
And were they going on what Delta did?
Well, Delta created theirs of what SS or what we did.
Okay, so then you've gone back and said, okay, what are you doing out here? We're going to...
Yeah, so these are all their routes. And we said, look, they invited, you know, Paul Hereford over there to do that. You know, they can't afford not to have a gap in new guys coming through and stuff. So, so we went over there and did the hills phase using their hills.
Okay.
As such. So,
and from your experience now, when you look back and you said, right, what we're doing in the Brecon Beacons, what they do now in the Brecon Beacons versus what you're doing in America, which is harder, do you think?
I've spent a lot of time in the Brecons, obviously, as a child, and subsequently I've done the fan dance, I've done everything, you know, and I think from a map reading, but also from a heat and endurance point of view, I would say this, but I think that hills was a lot harder than it would have been, you know what I mean, for me.
Yeah. Is that down to the heat, do you think?
Yeah.
Because we're all grown up in PM with rain and grey and you kind of deal with it and stuff, but actually you're going straight out to America and going, fucking, this is like 35, 37 degrees, and this is all new to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, you know, guys that I really respected were struggling, the systems that they had perfected, whatever, like, it was...
How many men went out there?
Well, here's the funny thing, right? So normally it was 350, but they only had certain amount of places on the plane.
Yeah.
So we went up to Hereford, Pontralis. This is where a lot of Hereford do the CQB training and CT training and stuff.
What's CQB, CT?
Sort of close quarter battles.
Okay.
You know, so in the room.
Yeah. Okay.
They got muck up of a 7-4.
So how long were you in Virginia for?
That's 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
6 weeks, yeah.
And when you come back from Virginia?
Well, yeah, you do that 5 weeks. You do your sort of endurance week. I think, you know, previous guests have talked about it, and you do that, you know, endurance march at the end, which is 24 hours long. And
tell me about that. So this is in Virginia. So you're there for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're saying that each week there was something different, was there?
Well, yeah, you build up to this test week, basically, and you do a series of, I think it's 7 in total. Really hard, you know, yomps basically with weight. Walks.
Big walks, okay, yeah.
Walks, yeah. You have to run it most of the time, yeah. Big backpack, your weapon. But I loved that. I literally fucking loved it. And by the time there, I'd burnt off all my beer fat and sort of like was hitting my straps kind of thing. And I was being a bit of a dick. I remember like, I was trying to be the quickest on all the, you know, in that test week and stuff. Now, on that final one, it was fucking hard, and sort of you're bumping into guys all the way, and you know you see one guy, you know, he's in the stream, like just, you know, sort of trying to cool down and stuff, and then I'm with this guy called Lee Tandy who was going off to Hereford. Unfortunately passed away now, but and hooked in on a parachute jump. But
what happened? How did he pass?
He was doing a hey-ho jump in training over in Oman, I think it was, but he basically hooked in on his parachute and so didn't survive the...
What do you mean hooked in?
So he came in at pace, I believe. I wasn't there, so I don't want to speak out of term and stuff, but really top guy anyway. We passed eventually together anyway. But the funny story is we were kind of doing the latter stages of this final endurance march together. We were on our chin strap, and we said, like, let's just have a little power nap here kind of thing. And we said, well, look, we can't get too comfortable because we fucking won't get back up. So we said, we'll just lay back to back with our feet up on our bergens and stuff. Next thing, we're both KO'd, like, fast asleep, and this guy's tapping us on the shoulder. Guys, you fucking soundo. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think I did it in 19 hours eventually. But
and what distance do you have to cover in that in 19 hours?
Somewhere between 60 to 70k.
Okay.
I think it was, yeah, with quite a big weight.
And what sort of weight was on your back?
Minimum 40 kgs, I think it was, yeah. With all your water and food and stuff, and yeah.
So 19 hours non-stop.
Yeah.
That on your back.
19 hours, yeah.
Wow.
With a little power nap in.
Yeah.
But yeah, past that, so that was 5 weeks, and then you go into where it really matters, which is the jungle. So Brunei.
Yeah.
So you come back to.
Would you say what was the toughest of the two, Virginia or Brunei?
Brunei. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many actually finished the Brunei? Roughly out of the 100, if you were to.
I think for both Poole and Hereford, it was about 20.
So only 20 out of the 100. So you got 250 in total.
Yeah.
Down to 100, down to 20.
Yeah.
My God.
That is selection there.
Yeah.
In the heart, that jungle phase.
Yeah.
Weeds out everyone, I would say.
Okay.
Literally everyone. It's incredible. I don't think you can fully appreciate it from afar, and sort of understand the nuances around the environment, and then what they apply to that environment to test you and to grind you down, and it's just incredible. And obviously some far smarter guys created that, haven't experienced it, and